Hello YouTube and welcome back to another before and after. Today we'll be taking a look at Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, I'm going to start off by saying something that will probably get a lot of negative backlash. I am not the biggest Spider-Man fan. Yeah, I know. A lot of people like him. A lot of people even say that he's their favorite superhero. But in my opinion, he's just not that interesting to me. Now, don't get me wrong, I do actually really like the character. There's nothing really wrong with him. It's just that me personally, I can't attach to him as well as others have. Honestly, with Spider-Man characters, I'm more interested in Agent Venom and Spider-Man Noir and Ben Reilly. Those ones are awesome. I really love their stories, especially Agent Venom's, but yeah, Spider-Man himself, I don't know. I'm just not the biggest fan of. I always have been. I don't know why, but I mean, that's not to say that he's not a good character or anything. I still like him. It's just that he's not really my favorite. So, when Spider-Man Homecoming was announced, I wasn't the most thrilled about it. I mean, I was probably going to go see it anyway, but yeah, I wasn't really that enthusiastic, mostly because, well, I'm not that big of a Spider-Man fan, and really, I've never seen any of his movies in theaters, and I still have yet to see the Amazing Spider-Man movies, actually, but yeah. I wasn't that excited about it. I liked him in Civil War, but yeah, I didn't really know how a whole entire movie about him would be. And then the trailer came out. It was really good. Now, I gotta say, even though I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan, I do see the appeal of him. He is a fun character with interesting storylines, particularly with the Venom storyline in my opinion, but yeah, he does have interesting stories. And I gotta say, the trailer for this really does look like a fun movie. I was very surprised. It looks very energetic, very fun, and as a teenager, I kind of relate to it, which is actually what the character was sort of made for. He was supposed to relate to a younger audience of comic readers. And I gotta say, I kind of do relate to him here. Especially with the school sucks line. I can agree with that entirely. So, yeah. It looks really impressive. The use of color is also very good. I really do like how colorful this movie looks. Which, yeah, the MCU so far has been pretty colorful, but this one particularly has a really good stunning use of color. Not as good as like Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but still looks really good. And yeah, it just looks a whole lot of fun, really. I like the song usage in this trailer. Just looks like a lot of fun, really. Also, the character Liz. Am I the only one who just immediately thinks back to Spectacular Spider-Man when I heard Liz Thompson in this? I know her name was Liz Allen on that show, but still, I immediately thought back to this show. And from what I've seen in the trailer, she looks like she's going to fill exactly the same role as she did there. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. I guess the movies just want to insert every single one of Peter's love interests. First we got Mary Jane Watson, then we got Gwen Stacy, and now we got Liz Thompson. I just feel like they're trying to put in every single love interest, which isn't a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, it kind of feels like that's the case. Also, Spider-Man's identity is revealed in this trailer. Yeah. The character who is very well known for hiding his identity from most of his family, mostly because he doesn't want them to get injured or hurt from the villains, even though that's usually what happens anyway. Seriously, why hide his identity from his friends and family? What is the point of that? I mean, sure, yeah, they might go telling, but I mean, if they're people that you really trust, like your Aunt May, tell them about it. You want to know why? They're not going to go running around and telling the villains, probably, unless they're tortured or something, And the only way that the villains would go after them is if they know. What's the point of them not knowing? I mean, okay, if the villains already know who you are, they're going to go after your family. What's the point of hiding this information? I really don't get that. But yeah, in this trailer, it's revealed to his friend Ned. So yeah, that's kind of cool. And very different for the character, but still pretty cool. I do like how now he's just finally has someone to talk to about this, because a lot of his problems usually come from him not being able to tell people about this, because if a villain finds out, even though if they find out, then my family's just going to be really surprised about this. Probably won't have a clue what they're talking about, which may end up with them dying. See what I'm saying? Why does that make any sense? But yeah, still pretty surprising there. Also, Ned in this trailer, he reminds me a whole lot more of a Miles Morales character. And just so you know, Miles Morales, he's a future version of Spider-Man, which pretty much after Peter Parker died in the comics at one point, he replaced him. And he's not that bad of a character, actually. He's pretty cool. But, yeah, Ned seems a whole lot more like one of Miles's friends instead of Peter's. Although, I'm not against that. The only thing that I don't really like about this is that I kind of am going to miss Harry Osborn in that role. Honestly, I think that Harry Osborn is an interesting character, especially with his relationship with Peter, and yeah, I think that him kind of being taken out of this, I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Now, I don't know, maybe he will show up in the movies at some point, but yeah, right now there doesn't seem to be any sign of him actually being there, and yeah, I do kind of miss him there. He's always been kind of an interesting character to me, especially on Spectacular Spider-Man. So, yeah, I really did want to see more of him. And I think with the MCU, they could do a lot with him. It's just that he's not here. And I'm seriously not that sure how to feel about that. But Ned does seem like a good character. I just kind of wish that Harry was somewhere in there. Also, the Flash Thompson that we got. He doesn't look anything like Flash Thompson. Can I just say that right now? He looks nothing like him. He doesn't even seem to act like... He looks like he wouldn't even be that type of bully. He just seems like he'd be that rich kid who would just sort of shove it in people's faces. Not the guy who would beat you up because you looked at him wrong or something. I really just don't think that he looks like the same character. And yeah, I said before, I'm a big fan of Agent Venom. Guess who Agent Venom really is? Flash Thompson. After going to war and losing his legs and saving some of his other soldiers, he was given the Venom symbiote and then fought for the government. And now he kind of looks like just sort of that rich kid who just shoves things in people's faces. There's a reason why I don't really like that change. It's because now it just sort of feels like I really can't see Agent Venom actually happen in the MCU. Which, yeah, I guess probably was something I should have expected because of Sony, or, yeah, I think it's Sony, because they have the rights right now of Venom and they're gonna make a movie about him and stuff, but yeah, still really want an Agent Venom thing, and probably not gonna get that now, so that really sucks. But yeah, outside of that, those are really my only problems. Overall, the trailer seems very fun, and also, some of the other characters in this movie look actually pretty fun and interesting. Michael Keaton, for example, he actually looks like he might be the first MCU villain since Loki that actually might be good. Just something that I said about Doctor Strange, Age of Ultron, a lot of other MCU movies, and Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and yeah, I'm really hoping that I'm right this time. Really, really hoping that. So, yeah, here's to hoping he'll be good. Also, Zendaya. She actually looks like a really pretty good actress here. Am I the only one who actually still remembers her from her time on Shake It Up? I really just want to know that. That has nothing to do with this movie, really. I'm just wondering, am I the only one who remembers her from that? Because I hear a lot of people talking about her now as actually a good actress. And yeah, the actresses from that show did move on to do good things. Good for them. But, yeah. I just keep on thinking of Shake It Up whenever I see her. And I really do hate that because I didn't like that show. But yeah, she looks really cool here, actually. And the thing about what role she's going to be playing in this movie, a lot of people thought that she was going to be MJ at first, and yeah, that to me I didn't really like. So I'm glad they confirmed that she isn't going to be MJ, but now I don't really know who she's going to be. They keep on saying that she's this person, Michelle, and I've heard that she's supposed to be the daughter of the Vulture, which seems like it'll be interesting. It's just, I don't know if that's for certain yet, so yeah, I guess I'll just have to see and find out. But yeah, overall, this movie looks like it's actually going to be a whole lot of fun, and I'm very excited for it. Which is something that I'm very happy to say, because I'm usually not that excited about Spider-Man movies. I mean, I like the Sam Raimi movies and stuff, except for 3, but when Amazing Spider-Man was announced, I wasn't that excited, and I never really went to go see any of them, and I still haven't. So yeah, how this movie's gonna turn out, in my opinion, is just something that I guess we'll just have to find out. So yeah, see you guys in the after part. Alright, so I have now gone back from seeing it, and I thought it was okay. Although I'll get into why after a synopsis. So, what happens in this movie? Well, Spider-Man is doing his friendly neighborhood Spider-Man thing, but he has higher ambitions. He wants to be an Avenger, because apparently beating up the Avengers doesn't already get him an in. I really don't get this. He was able to beat Captain America, Scarlet Witch, Ant-Man, and the Winter Soldier, and Hawkeye. How does that not get him an in? I really, really want to know this, because he was able to beat all of those guys, and yet, nope, still not allowed in. I really don't get that. Sure, there's that one moment that they do say, they took it easy on him because he was a kid, but I highly doubt that. They were in the heat of the battle, and also, I don't know, there's also a moment in the movie where, someone says they don't really know what his real age is, and seeing as apparently none of them have heard of Spider-Man before, I highly doubt that they would have just automatically assumed, oh, hey, you obviously brought a 14-year-old kid out here. That's what you did, right? Yeah, that's probably what he did. Okay, let's go easy on him, guys. I mean, he's very skilled and can walk on walls, can grab metal arms with his hands very easily. But yeah, all that, no, let's go easy on him. I really, really question that. So, yeah, that didn't get him an in, but he's hoping that if he takes down the Vulture, a new villain who sort of started to rise up in the city, he's pretty much been collecting alien artifacts in order to make weapons out of them. Pretty good idea, and it works. And Spider-Man just wants to take him down to get into the Avengers, although secrets are revealed. Secrets that I won't be talking about until I get to the spoilers part. So, yeah, the secrets make it a bit harder and a little bit more personal for him. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. He just has to take down the Vulture, and then he'll automatically get in the Avengers. So, he's just gotta be a guy that the Avengers don't really give a crap about. Yeah, really. Before Spider-Man got involved, they really had zero interest in him. They were just gonna let him keep on stealing stuff, I guess. Surprised none of them noticed this until now. But, yeah. It's pretty much what happens. Now, I've already said before, I'm not that big of a Spider-Man fan, and I still stand by that. I'm really not the biggest fan of him, and yeah, this movie didn't really change my opinion on that. Now, again, I do still see the appeal of this character, and I will also say in this movie there were a lot of things that I actually did find relatable to Peter in it, which is, again, what I've already said is the intention of the character, and I will say they did get right here. And they very much do understand what makes Spider Man who he is. Now, in my opinion, the Sam Raimi movies are the ones that have done the best, or maybe Spectacular Spider-Man, but yeah, I will say they did do a pretty good job as to understanding what the character is actually about, in a way where they didn't actually need to include the with great power comes great responsibility thing. Although I am kind of disappointed about that. That's kind of that line right there sums up Peter Parker pretty much. He has great power, but he uses it responsibly. He knows how to use it correctly, unless a venom gets in his head, but outside of that, he does know how to use it responsibly, or at least for the most part. So I do kind of feel like them leaving that out really wasn't that good of an idea. I mean, I do understand what they were doing here. They were trying to do it without using that line as, I guess, sort of a way of showing that even if he didn't hear that from Uncle Ben, he still probably would have became the hero that everyone knows him as. And I will say that is an interesting idea to try with him. I'm just saying, yeah, I really do kind of miss that line. Even if it has been said a whole lot, I do kind of miss it. Although, again, the execution of it with the character, I will say, was done very well. And there were a lot of really good moments in this movie. My personal favorite was when he was stuck under a lot of rubble. Yeah, if you've seen the movie, then you know what I'm talking about. And that was by far my favorite moment, especially from Tom Holland's acting during that scene. He does really good as Peter Parker in this movie, and that scene by far was the best moment with him in it to me. So, when it came down to the story, I'm pretty mixed on it. Mainly because I really just feel like there wasn't that good of a balance here with what they were trying to do. Now, on one side it's Spider-Man, on the other side is the daily life of Peter Parker. However, those are supposed to come together very well. Here, to me, he kind of had to push the Peter Parker side out of his life in order to make room for Spider-Man, and I don't really feel like that was the best route to go with. I don't know, he just sort of seemed like in Civil War that he already sort of got a way to be able to schedule all this out, and now even though he has an excuse to use for it, he's having an even harder time at doing that. I don't know, it just sort of seemed pretty weird to me, and he was actually pretty obsessive in this movie to me. Like, every moment he was just thinking about Vulture and going after him. I mean, I know he has a lot at stake with this, but he was really obsessive to me. I mean, he really pushed his friends and family to the side outside of Ned in order to be able to do this. And, well, yeah, okay, he did it, but he still had to push his friends and family to the side. Again, outside of Ned. So, when? Yeah, I really don't get that. He actually did lose quite a lot in this movie, like his standing at school, some of his friendships, and also a little bit of something with Aunt May. Like, she sort of got more and more concerned for him as the movie went on, and also, I would be very concerned if my son just sort of my nephew just sort of came to the house one day and was there all dirty, looks like he's been through a whole lot and doesn't want to talk about it. I don't know, I feel like she should have been a whole lot concerned about what was going on there, but maybe she just stays out of it, I don't know. He's a teenager, who knows what he was up to, that crazy kid. So, yeah. I gotta say, well, I do like that side to him that was added in this. Like, I really did actually enjoy seeing how obsessed he got with it. I think it sort of went a bit too far. I don't know if anyone else really noticed that or if it's just me, but Yeah, it really seemed like he sort of just pushed Peter Parker to the side and just wanted to be Spider-Man a lot, or just get in the Avengers. And I also think that while this was addressed in the movie, I don't think it was addressed enough. The repercussions of becoming an Avenger. With Avengers Tower being moved and everything, they do hint at the repercussions of it, and of course, at the end of the movie, there's a big thing with it, but for most of the movie, they don't really bring up how joining the Avengers could be a negative thing for him. I mean, they bring up all the positives, but there are only like one or two scenes where they actually talk about the negative side of it. And outside of that, it's just like, being an Avenger, that'll be awesome. Until the end, where he's just like, nah, I think I should wait a little bit more. So, yeah, I felt that was kind of weirdly played. I feel like he should have cared a little bit more about what this will do to his friends, his family, and what happens if he has to move somewhere or has to just go out randomly. I mean, I just feel like he didn't really address that all that much. Although, of course, they do address it. It's just that, to me, personally, it wasn't addressed as much as I would have hoped it would have been. But overall, the story is actually a pretty good coming-of-age story that just so happens to include Spider-Man, and actually it does do that pretty well. I do like the way that was executed, and hey, it's actually a pretty fun movie. However, I did have some negatives with it, which sort of took it away from being one of the great Spider-Man movies to me. Like, in my opinion, the Sam Raimi movies nailed it, but I was really hoping that this one would kind of be on par with those, and in my opinion, it wasn't. I haven't seen Amazing Spider-Man yet, so I can't really hold it in comparison to those, but yeah, in my opinion, this one was worse than some of the Sam Raimi movies. I won't say it was worse than the third. I mean, it was definitely better than the third, but yeah, Spider-Man 1 and 2, I still think have got this movie beat, and I was kind of hoping that it might have at least gone a little bit up on 1, but while I do say that, I will say that it does have some very good things to it, and I did like it. It was a lot of fun. It's just that, to me personally, I feel like I could have waited till it came out on DVD or something, or on Netflix or something like that before I watched it. Now, that might have something to do with me just not being a big Spider-Man fan, but I really can't say for sure. I've heard from a lot of Spider-Man fans, they absolutely loved this movie. So, yeah, it probably is just me on that. So, now let's get into characters. We got Peter Parker. I've already talked about him a little bit with him being a bit more obsessive here, but I gotta say, Tom Holland really nailed this performance. He does a great job in the role, and I really enjoyed watching him on screen. Even though he's in his 20s, he still portrays a teenage Peter Parker amazingly. And he was actually very relatable to me, as I'm actually in high school now and I'm only 16. So, yeah, there are some moments that were very relatable. Even if I just go to homeschool and stuff, I still found him relatable that way. So, yeah, I did actually really enjoy seeing that. And it is nice to have a Peter Parker that isn't going off to college or something. He's sort of just started or is maybe on his second year of high school now. So, yeah, I did really like how that was done. So, yeah, I found him very relatable in this role, and he does a great job with it. And I've already mentioned the rubble scene. I really loved his acting there. You could really just sort of feel him being in pain off the screen, and I really loved that. There are very few movies and actors that can actually pull that off in a good way to me, but he definitely nailed it here. So yeah, Tom Holland did a really good job with this role. Then we got Ned. He's pretty fun. He's more of a comic relief in the movie, and I will say he does do a good job of it. And, yeah, much like I said before, Peter does kind of push his friends and family to the side. And while I don't think I'll be giving anything away here by saying this, Ned does know that Peter is Spider-Man. Yeah, he still does kind of get pushed to the side a lot. That's probably my biggest problem with this movie. Instead of trying to actually find a balance with his life, he instead just sort of pushes Peter Parker to the side and everyone that's friends and family with him and just focuses more on Spider-Man and the Avengers. I've already brought this up a lot, but yeah, that's still my biggest problem with this movie, and yeah, it does affect Ned a bit, as I expected him to be in this movie a whole lot more, or for them to just bond over, I don't know, him actually having someone to talk to about this who isn't someone who'll just ignore his calls like Happy is. So yeah, I really wish that they had done that a little bit more. Then we got Liz, still not named Alan. I'm just gonna call her Liz Allen. She's alright in this. There is something revealed with her later, but to me, it was kind of already expected, and yeah, I just didn't really find her all that interesting outside of that. She's pretty bland for the most part, and it's just sort of a regular teenage girl. I mean, I'm not like her, but yeah, I'm sure there are a whole lot more that are like her, and yeah, I mean, she's alright. I didn't really have anything against her or anything. She's fun. I mean, she's a good character and all. I just didn't really find her as interesting as I found some of the others. Then we got the Vulture. I gotta say, Michael Keaton did do a good job in this role, and the Vulture is made much more relatable than some other MCU villains. However, still an MCU villain. And he's still kind of generic that way. I will say, though, he is more interesting than the others. I will say, also, he's probably the one right after Loki to me. Although, if we are counting the Netflix series, then yeah, he's after Kilgrave, which is number 3 on my list. So he's number 4. Out of all the MCU villains, I consider that pretty high. So yeah, I will say he is more interesting than a lot of other MCU villains, and I do actually have fun watching him here, and like I said before, Michael Keaton does amazing in this role. And I also gotta say, he did better than Kurt Russell did with Ego, mainly because Ego was so generic, and yet the Vulture does actually have a whole lot more personality to him, so I do actually like seeing that Michael Keaton had more to work with here. So, yeah, he did a pretty good job with this role, and I actually did really like it. Then we got Aunt May. just God. Aunt May. She is boring. Super boring. Really? I think that the only joke here is that she's hot. Difference. Get it? We changed that around. Did you get it? They try to emphasize that a lot in the movie, and I'm just like, please, I don't care. Make her an interesting character. I would prefer that. Please do that. And most of the time, she's just really dumb in this movie. So yeah, the loving, kind, nurturing Aunt May, she's still that, except she's also an airhead. So, improvements? Yeah, I didn't really like how that was done, and while I will say that her performance is pretty good at times, like, especially in the scene where she does need to comfort Peter at one moment, that was especially when I saw her more as Aunt May instead of just, I don't know, someone who's more his age. I don't know really what they were trying to do with this, but yeah, there was only one moment where I saw her as Aunt May and not just another person in this movie that Peter knows, and yeah, I will say that moment was good. I just wish there had been a bit more of those. Also, they very, very vaguely reference Uncle Ben. Like, extremely vaguely. I was kind of disappointed with that. Although, I can say I do at least understand. I've heard a lot of people get angry about him not being brought up or anything like that with him, but I do at least understand it. Because, like, if I lost someone that I was very close to, and I have before, I don't like talking about it. I wouldn't want to go around being like, hey, my uncle died. Very tragically, in fact. In fact, I could have actually prevented it, but I didn't. So, yeah. Let's talk about that. I wouldn't want to be doing that. Although, I can say, yeah, I did kind of wish that they had used the great power comes great responsibility line at least once in there, but, or at least a reference to it, sort of a thing that I thought back as sort of inspiration for him there, and motivation to keep him going, but, yeah, I will say, though, I do understand why it was done. So I do understand that. I just sort of wish that we had seen a little bit more of that in Aunt May, like a little bit more of a tragic side to her having lost Uncle Ben. I really do wish that we had seen that, and that would have made her a much more interesting character, in my opinion. Now, yes, we could get some of that in the sequels. However, I'm not sure they'll do it. So, yeah, here's hoping that they do, I guess. And then we got Michelle. I mean, I like her, but she's a pretty good character, actually, outside of random moments where she's like, you know, the Washington Monument was built by slaves. Why did she randomly bring that up? What was the point of that? Is this supposed to be a PSA for some reason? I don't get that. Why'd she say that? I really do want to know. It was so random and it had no impact on the movie. What was the point? So, yeah. Other than that, though, she's alright. Sorry I had to pause it there. I've been sick all week, and yeah, I still get some coughs sometimes. So yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, back on what I was saying. Zendaya does do a good job with the role of Michelle. However, she's not in the movie very often. I was very disappointed by that. She's a prominent character in the trailers, and heck, we even see her dancing at the homecoming dance with Ned. Did he ask her out at one point? I don't know. We'll never see it, apparently. So, yeah, a moment for her to maybe develop some character. Nope. We don't need that, obviously. So, yeah. I was pretty disappointed with that. Now, I will say, the reveal at the end, kind of funny, I guess, with her, but I still feel like if you're gonna do that anyway, just do it upright. No one really cares if you're gonna spend the whole movie building up to one little throwaway line. It's a throwaway line. Develop the character so then we'll actually give a crap about that little throwaway line at the end. I would have much preferred that. So, yeah. I really didn't like her being cut out of this movie as much as she was, because it feels like there could have been some really cool things done with her, and yet they're just like, nah. She's fine. Just throw her in there a little bit sometimes. Then, we'll do a little thing at the end. That's really all. No, it's really not all. I would prefer to her. I prefer if she's interesting. So, yeah. I was very disappointed by that. I mean, she doesn't do a bad job with the role or anything. I just wish that she was more interesting than she was in this. So, Flash Thompson. It's pretty much exactly what I thought he was going to be. He's the rich kid who just sort of rubs that in people's faces, and he's kind of a jerk. Yay? It's really all that he is. I'm still really disappointed that because of that, we probably won't be seeing Agent Venom in the MCU. I am so disappointed with that. Well, the actor does a good job, so, yeah. I just wish that maybe went to some other character or something. Like, I don't know, maybe even Harry Osborn. I don't know, he's rich, you could have used it like that. That was completely possible. I mean, they are kind of friends. I mean, they still talk to each other and stuff. So, I don't know. They don't really seem like they hate each other or anything, so could have totally done that. But nope, needed to be Flash Thompson there. No, it didn't. So, yeah, I was also disappointed by that. And Then there's Iron Man. He's in this movie a little bit. And I will say I do like his sort of father-son relationship with Peter. I don't know. Just don't really see the point in him being in this as much as he was. There were some moments where I was just like, eh. I think he actually went on vacation. They just brought a cameraman with them. Like, there's one moment where he's just controlling one of the Iron Man suits. Just, like, he's not even in it. He's on vacation. Like, I honestly think that Robert Downey Jr. just went on vacation. They were just like, bring a cameraman, say these lines. Okay, we just want you in this movie for this one little bit. Alright, sure. I can still go on vacation, right? Oh, yeah, totally. Just do this. Okay. So, yeah. There were really some moments that I sort of felt like he was pretty pointless in it. Although, again, I did like their relationship together, and I did actually think that it was pretty funny in this still. And that ending scene, not an end credit scene, the ending, was actually kind of nice. I don't want to say anything about it, because I actually did find that pretty surprising, so yeah, it's pretty nice. So, yeah, there's really nothing else to add to him there. Happy Hogan is in this movie. I haven't seen the other Iron Man movies either. I've only seen the third Iron Man movie. Those are the only MCU movies I have not seen. So, yeah. I have not seen him be developed as a character whatsoever, and he's alright in this. That was fun. Nothing else to really add there. I just thought it was fun. So, yeah. Trying to think if there are any other characters. Karen. She's in his Spidey suit. They show her a little bit in the trailer with like a voice inside of his Spidey suit. Yeah, that's Karen. I think that was her name. She's funny. She's alright. I liked her. Nothing else to really say about that. Oh, and then we also got Miles Morales' uncle. He pops up in this. Or I don't really remember their relation. I think that's his uncle. I really forgot. I haven't read any Miles Morales comics. Admittedly, I just haven't. They just haven't really interested me. I mean, like, I've read a preview comic with him, but that's really all. Just didn't really interest me all that much. But yeah, that's cool. We might see Miles Morales. Pretty sure that he takes on the mantle after Spider-Man dies. Yeah. So, that could be bad. So, yeah. Thought that was kind of cool. Though I had to have that pointed out to me. So, yeah. That's pretty much it, really, for this movie. I enjoyed it. The characters are a lot of fun. And while I didn't overly like the execution of it, and there were some things that I didn't really like, I did still very much enjoy this movie, and it's a whole lot of fun, and I do recommend checking it out, especially if you're a Spider-Man fan. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. Now we're gonna talk spoilers, so yeah. If you don't want to be spoiled, just leave. Bye, people who don't want to be spoiled. Alright, so for the first major reveal, the Tinkerer is in this. Da-da-da. Yeah, okay. It's not really a big reveal at all. But yeah, the Tinkerer is in this. It's pretty cool, in my opinion. So yeah. Also, the Shocker is in this. And then he dies, and then there's a new Shocker. Yay! That's cool, I guess. New Shocker was kind of cool, actually. I liked them both. They both did good. So, yeah, first actual major reveal. MJ. She's in this. She's Michelle. Yeah, remember all those rumors spreading around online that Zendaya was going to be playing Mary Jane Watson? Not entirely true, but still pretty much true. She's probably going to be filling pretty much the same role. But, yeah, she's MJ. At least her friends call her that. Yeah, kind of very clumsily revealed. I would have preferred it if maybe at one point she said tiger at the end of something or something like that, instead of her just saying, my friends call me MJ, just so you know that. I don't know why I just randomly want to tell you guys all this after a few months of being at the school, but yeah, my friends call me MJ. Don't know why I wanted to tell you that though. Yeah, I would have preferred if she just said tiger or something. You know, something that's still associated with the character, just not quite on the nose, and would just sort of be more of a similarity to her and would sort of make you understand her role instead of her just saying, friends call me MJ. Although I have heard that this was supposed to make fun of it, I forgot what it was supposed to make fun of. I thought it was just supposed to, I forgot. I think that they were I have heard that they were trying to do like a little joke here, but yeah, I really just sort of feel like they could just completely cut this out and it wouldn't have made any difference. And like I said before, this reveal was completely done in a way where they had to cut out most of her scenes or not even give her that many scenes. I don't know if they cut them out or if they just decided not to make them, but yeah, they had to not have her be in the movie that much in order to just, so then no one would just call her MJ at one point. You know, something that would have actually been a nice, much more subtle way of saying it instead of, my friends call me MJ. Someone could have said, oh hey, MJ, what's going on with you? Why is your hair so messy? I don't know, something like that. Really, why is her hair so messy? I really do wonder that. Her hair's really messy in this movie. Did she not brush her hair? I really want to know. I'm pretty sure that her hair's already curly, but it's really messy there. I don't know. I would prefer if some character asked her something like that. So just, my friends call me MJ. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed by that. But hey, still a good character, and I hope for more from her, especially after they've done their amazing big reveal now. So yeah, so hoping for more right now. The Vulture, he is revealed to be Liz Thompson's dad. Da da da. Yeah, I actually thought that was actually pretty neat, mostly because I had been hearing a lot of places that Michelle was actually going to be his daughter. And I thought, well, okay, well, that makes sense why she's being seen in the trailer so much, why there's been so many rumors flowing around about her. That actually makes a whole lot of sense. Nope, it's Liz. This adds a bit of personality to Liz, but not really anything else outside of she's the daughter. Woo! That's really all that's to her. She's very bland to me. I don't know if it's just me or other people think this, but yeah, she's pretty bland to me. But yeah, she's his daughter. I don't know, celebrate if that's something that's worthy of celebration to you. It's not to me, but I don't know, you random viewer might find that something to go celebrate. Even though if you're watching the spoilers, then you probably already know about that. So, yeah. I don't know. To me, it was just sort of, I mean, it added a whole lot more tension in the homecoming dance, but didn't really last that long. I mean, it just lasted like 5 minutes. Like, from the drive to the homecoming dance to him being in there. He's in there for like 5 minutes, and it's just like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Bye! I gotta go get your dad arrested. Bye! Hope we can patch things up after that. Bye. So yeah. Yeah. I really just sort of feel like that was kind of pointless in the grand scheme of things. Like, I mean, like I said before, that did add a bit more to his character, and I already liked his character as it was, so I did like that. It's just, to me personally, I don't know. I just didn't really find it all that shocking. I knew that somebody was going to be his daughter. I just sort of thought it was Michelle. That's really the only big surprise I had there. I mean, I already kind of knew it, and really, I was more speculating what that would do with Michelle. in this movie. I was more thinking like, oh man, she might take the place of Harry Osborn, who was someone who was Peter's friend, but now hates Spider-Man because something happened with her dad, and now she could want to get revenge on him after she finds out that he's Peter, and oh my god, the possibilities of it. Nope. Okay. Just gonna move. Alright, have fun. So, yeah. Could have been something actually pretty interesting there. Didn't. So, yeah. Like I said, I was kind of disappointed by how they didn't really do anything with this, although I will say the execution of the actual reveal was very nice. And then we got the very end credit scene. Well, okay, both. Alright, I gotta admit I might have missed an end credit scene. I used the bathroom. Apparently that was a mistake when watching MCU movies. I should have known better. But yeah. Might have missed an end credit scene there. Just kind of upset about that. I don't know if I missed one or not for sure. I have to check when all the scenes go online or something, or when the movie's out again somewhere. But yeah, I might have missed one. But I did see the first and the very last one, and I'm not going to talk about those right now. First, I want to talk about Aunt May walking into the room while Peter took off the mask. That was pretty cool. Now, there have been moments in the comics and shows where it's been revealed that she apparently knew. And I really gotta say, there are some versions of that can do that well. And then there's Ultimate Spider-Man that just says, apparently she knew for a while, and we decided to never show you that she actually found out about this. I hated Ultimate Spider-Man for that. Actually, I hate it for a lot of reasons. I need to do a review on that show. That would require watching it again. Never mind, I'm not gonna do it. Unless if you guys want me to. Do you guys want me to review Ultimate Spider-Man? I'm getting off topic here. So yeah, Aunt May finding out about Peter Parker being Spider-Man. This opens up a lot of possibilities. On the one hand, this has never happened in the movies before, or at least I assume. Again, I've not seen Amazing Spider-Man movies, but yeah, this could open up a whole lot of possibilities, and I'm actually very curious as to where they go with this. I mean, I did like it, especially since I loved her reaction to it, too. Just, what the fuck? And, I'm kind of upset that she didn't actually say it, to be honest. I mean, like, she still said around her teenage son. I mean, she's so young in this movie. It just makes me think that's his mom. But anyway, yeah, she still said around her nephew. Yeah, she still said around her nephew. Does that make it good? How would that make it good? So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why she didn't just... I don't know why they didn't leave it in. I mean, it's PG-13. They are allowed to at least use one F-bomb. Guess it was just to make it more child-friendly. I don't know. So, yeah, that reveal opens up a lot of possibilities. I'm actually very curious to where it's going. Then we find out the Scorpion is here. Although, to me, I didn't really know that if someone hadn't pointed it out to me. I mean, like, I really did not know this guy was the Scorpion. I don't know. Just some people are just like, this guy's the Scorpion. Like, how do you know that? Like, he doesn't say anything about having a suit with a scorpion. He didn't say anything about being the Scorpion. Said nothing about it. He just said, you and me both have been locked up here by Spider-Man. How does that automatically mean he must be the Scorpion? I don't know, maybe it ties into Amazing Spider-Man, and I just gotta watch that and find out. I really don't know, but yeah, that to me, I don't really see it, but yeah, the Scorpion, he comes over and asks the Vulture, hey, heard that you know who Spider-Man is. Do you? So I want to go kill the guy. Then the Vulture replies, if I did know, he'd already be dead. Da 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 da. So yeah, he already knew. probably the reason why he didn't say anything about this is because Parker saved his life, which makes sense. I would understand why he did that. It's just, yeah, I got nothing else to really say. That was just pretty nice of him. Thanks, Vulture. You're not the worst guy, I guess. You know, you did try and kill him. Yeah. Still not that bad compared to other MCU villains, so, yeah. You're still number 4, Vulture. You're still number 4. Just go celebrate that, I guess. I don't know. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for reveals. So they have a funny end credit scene where Cap just sits down and talks about patience. Sometimes it leads to a lot. Sometimes you get very little. I didn't actually sit through the end credits. I used the bathroom. So, yeah. Kind of wish I didn't, because then that scene would have had much more impact. Also, I forgot about this. I almost forgot. Iron Spider suit, or at least I assume that's what it is, what with the gold on it and everything. Now, on the one hand, awesome! The Iron Spider suit, that's gonna be so awesome when Parker finally wears it. On the other hand, I don't really like the design all that much. I will say that the design of the actual suit looks very nice. I just wish that was a bit more metallic and stuff. However, I'm very disappointed that there aren't 3 golden arms coming out the back. That was always awesome to me, and yet now it's gone. Pretty disappointed by that. So, yeah. Still a cool suit, though. So, don't really have anything to complain about. Still pretty awesome. Also, Iron Man and Tony and Pepper Potts gonna get married. Woo! Yay! Celebration. Good for them. Apparently, they're only actually doing that just to not seem like idiots. So they actually did have a whole press conference and everything set to reveal the next Avenger, but Parker decided, nope, I don't want that. Honestly, I kind of wish that he did say that. I mean, he could just continue to have operated inside of Queens and everything. Could continue doing that. I don't see why he didn't. No one said that he had to live in the Avengers headquarters. So, yeah. There was really no point in turning that down. But yes, he couldn't have revealed that. So, yeah. I mean, it does make sense. I mean, like, he needed more time and everything, but still. He got a really nice Iron Spider suit there. Are you really just gonna pass up? Okay, yeah, you will. Alright. I wouldn't have. I really wouldn't have. So, yeah. It's pretty much it for spoilers. It's not really anything else. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, I will say, the Iron Spider suit didn't really have that big of an impact on me because I'm on a Marvel community online and Google+. They post a lot about the Iron Spider suit. Yeah. So, yeah, I already knew it was coming. Kind of got disappointed by that. I thought it was gonna be an end credit scene though, so that was surprising. It's also pretty nice, so yeah. That's pretty much it. Nothing else to really say about it, so yeah. Bye.
Criminal.
I'm not a criminal, what? Not
Why are you recording me?
Because I'm recording the drive-in event moment thing.
What? The driving event moment thing?
I'm recording our...
Oh yeah, we're going to the beach.
No, I'm recording the experience.
So scary. We have 2 diapers in a 2-hour trip. I'm just finished the whole time.
I'm recording the experience.
You might like this one. He's a baby and I think he's driving.
You know that's really not what Baby Driver's about. It's really not what it's about.
Okay, I believe you.
still not illegal to film 20 seconds of a movie. We're not gonna die if I film 20 seconds. I do. I've done it multiple times. What? No, I'm not. It's only 20 seconds. That does not get us arrested or killed.
There was only one bullet, officer. I understand that it killed that person, but it was only one bullet.
But if you record for 20 seconds, if you record for 20 seconds or less, then you're fine. It's just how it works. I've done it before. I know how it works. What?
Stop recording it.
Never. Okay, I'm probably gonna record. No. Okay, fine. Okay, so what'd you think of it? I thought it was alright. That was okay. What?
The ending was good.
Why?
Because it ended.
It's not over yet. The end credits are still playing, and there's gonna be end credit scenes because it's Marvel. And then we're gonna watch Baby Driver.
It's not Baby Driver.
It is Baby Driver. Why do you keep on saying that it's not?
War of the Planet of the Apes.
It's not War of Planet of the Apes. That's gonna be playing over. Actually, it's playing on the other screen right over there.
What?
It just started over there.
But
On the
Baby
other.
Driver?
No, War of the Planet of the Apes. It
You're
started.
gonna get a shot in Alabama.
But I'm not even. I can't even see what I'm looking at in this video. No one could. But did you really not like it?
It's over.
Okay, so you liked. Alright, so. Oh. Okay, so you said that you liked Baywatch, but this? You didn't.
Exactly.
I will not understand that. I will never understand that in my life. Never. Never. Never gonna.
No, you'll get over it.
I don't understand. Why do you?
Stop taping me.
No, I will never stop taping.
Hey everybody, hang around for Baby
Told you
Driver.
that.
Coming up next. Try for a brief
See?
intermission.
It's on
Head
the
out for dinner with
video.
Charlie Snap Bob and Carly for a few more
See,
minutes.
it's on the
All
video.
kind of great food, drinks, candy,
Told
popcorn,
you. I
ice
told
cream,
you
and
it's Baby
slushies. Hey, y'all
Driver.
come see us. Hey, be sure and join us again
Yes.
next weekend, starting Friday.
Thank
the
you, man, on
Valerian.
the radio for confirming what I already knew. So yeah, he confirmed it. It's Baby Driver. Got confirmation right there. How do you feel right now? Save for the internet. Hey, you know, there's no one can even see what they're looking at. It's all black. You putting your hand over the camera doesn't mean a thing. Fine, I'm just wasting time now. I'll just